This review for the Mortuary Assistant is spoiler free. Let me get this out of the way in the beginning. I am not great with horror games. I do get unsettled and spooked quite quickly. It really doesn't take much for my mind to go off and wonder what horrible creature could be waiting for me in the darkness, or for a jump scare to make me crap myself. With that being said, I do love horror games. Some of my most memorable gaming experiences have been conquering that fear of a good horror title like a Resident Evil, Dead Space, The Evil Within, or Condemned, to name some of the big boys. Horror is a genre that terrifies me so easily but always keeps me coming back for more, and that's especially true when talking about the indie horror scene. Indie horror just hits different because they can try and experiment with new concepts and ideas, and they vary so much. You have games like Franbo, Darkwood, Layers of Fear, and Tormented Souls that are all so different from one another, yet are all interesting and, in my opinion, terrifying in their own ways. Which leads me to the subject of today's video, the Mortuary Assistant. After recently completing your degree in the mortuary sciences, you have taken on an apprenticeship at Riverfield's Mortuary. Right from your trial, something seems off about this place, but you persist through your first day only to get called into work late at night to handle some embalmings. But there is something different about these bodies because there is something different about you. A demon is bound to and possessing us, and we cannot leave without first cleansing that demon, so it's time to get to work. Right from the get-go, the subject matter of the Mortuary Assistant is bleak. It's uncomfortable, it's unsettling, but it's a job, and that's one of the game's biggest strengths. There is this monotony about what you're doing. Each body you're embalming goes through the same process of getting the body from storage, checking over the body, booking it in, lodging the paperwork, wiring the jaw, draining the fluids, cleaning the equipment. It's a process that the longer you play, the more it starts to feel like a job, and then that feeling lulls you into a false sense of security, which is usually when things start going tits up. Sometimes that takes the form of loud noises and abrupt jump scares, but what I love about the horror here, at least from what I experienced, is it is more often than not much more subtle. More blink and you'll miss it, maybe some faint whispers or just something staring at you in the dark. It's stuff like that that gets the goosebumps going, the hair on the back of your neck going up, and just generally ruining any midnight snacking back in reality as you're checking every corner. That's the horror that gets to me the most, and here it is executed beautifully because again, it goes back to the job. You're already probably, maybe some morticians are playing this game, which would be a cool video or stream to watch, but you're probably already unsettled by the job itself. It's a disturbing occupation, and in the beginning, as you're learning where everything is, the order of the task, learning the layout of the building, you've always got in the back of your mind, is someone watching me, or is this body going to do something it shouldn't? That feeling doesn't really go away until after the first shift, maybe not even then depending on your tolerance for the subject matter. It's an uncomfortable horror experience that I just loved pushing through and finding out what the hell is going on here. With multiple endings and a ton of mysteries to uncover, the Mortuary Assistant is incredibly replayable. I've gone through the game 3 times now, and I'm ready to go into my 4th, and I'm excited to see what else this game has in store. Is the game as scary on repeat playthroughs? No, it isn't. It's still unnerving, don't get me wrong, but that first playthrough, I had genuine spine tingles, goosebumps all over, that type of fear, and the longer I played, the more I could brave the various scares and encounters much easier. That's to be expected though, and I don't knock the game for it. I know I haven't gone over the gameplay too much in this video, but that's because what you see is what it is. Most of the gameplay is confined to this view of whatever body you're embalming and the simple button prompts that accompany them. Sure, I could see some feeling the gameplay loop is a bit tedious, but as I said, I think that actually works to the game's benefit. It's a morgue simulator with a horror spin. There isn't too much else to say about the gameplay without giving away spoilers. There is some clunkiness to some of the mechanics. The inventory in particular can be a nuisance in itself, but I overall, the gameplay is here to support the story and the horror, so go in with that expectation and you'll have a good time, I think. If you couldn't tell, I strongly recommend the Mortuary Assistant. I was not expecting to make a video on this game. I thought it'd be a fun little horror game just for me, but I seriously just... enjoy doesn't seem like the right word, but you know what I mean. Again, I'm no horror expert and horror is subjective. Just look at Charlie waltzing and laughing his way through this game as he usually does, but for me, Darkstone Digital made something special here. It's a concept I found to be really unique. It does a great job of setting up and executing the horror. The story is mysterious and compels you to keep playing, and trying to perfect that gameplay loop will keep you coming back time after time. The atmosphere is so unsettling, the dark, dank morgue paired with the somber soundtrack and much needed silence just bounce off each other so well. The Mortuary Assistant has been one of my favourite experiences of 2022. I loved being terrified in this game, and I highly recommend, if you can stomach the subject matter of being a mortician and you're looking for a good horror title, you can't really go wrong with at least trying the game. Currently the game is only available on PC, but there is a controller option, so maybe a console port down the line. But if you want to wet your beak, try before you buy, there is a demo and the Steam refund policy to help you find out at the very least if this game is for you. This game was truly something special, and I'm glad I went out on a limb and picked the game up. Thank you all so much for watching this review of the Mortuary Assistant. I don't do new game reviews too often, but some games just excite me so much that I have to talk about them. Especially for indie titles, because I want the game to get as much love as possible. I had a great time being terrified with this game, and I hope you enjoyed visiting the game with me. I do apologize for my voice. I have been sick for the past week, but it is what it is. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave it a like because it helps let me know that you enjoyed yourself. Comment below your thoughts on the Mortuary Assistant if you've played it. If you want to talk spoilers, mark your comment as such, and let me know if you want to see more videos like this, because I don't cover too many horror games, but that could always change. Shout out to the channel members, Infamous Sir Hellfire, featuring Gagiano, Christian Vilegag, and Cloud Connection for that extra level of support. I truly do appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Go give my socials a follow if you fancy, @MayorHairBear, and I'll catch you all in the next video.